Awesome. Welcome to the call. And how's everybody doing tonight? Put a comment in the chat. Let me know you can hear me. So I'm just know I'm not talking to myself here. And things do go wrong sometimes. So it's good to just double check to make sure. And good morning from Korea. It's good to have you. Good to have all of you, by the way. I always appreciate you guys coming back. And today, definitely put a comment in the chat, guys, if you can hear me. Good. Okay, perfect. So today I'm coming to you again from Bozeman here, my house in Bozeman, Montana. It's been hasn't been snowing. It's been actually a slow winter, but there's a lot of snow out there still. It's been melting a little bit. It's a beautiful town if you've never been here. What I want to dive into is today is the one thing that is pushing women away and how you can stop it. So it's probably the biggest thing I see when I take a client out that causes women to find him unattractive, uninteresting, something like that. And that's basically reactivity. And I just did a video on it. It came out Sunday. Did any of you watch that video? Because it got a lot of views and a lot of comments in one day. I was surprised, actually, for our channel, how many views and comments it's gotten, and it keeps growing. People really liked it. So if you've watched that video, the one I put out Sunday, definitely put a comment right now in the chat. Let me know you watched it. If you didn't, I'm going to recommend you go back and watch it. It's always good you watch these videos. Thank you, AG. I appreciate it. Even though it's not Christmas, we got a Merry Christmas going on here. And that video was all about reactivity versus proactivity as a man. And reactivity is the art of really getting, like, for example, you want the validation from the girl so much that every little thing she does, you're kind of hanging on, and you react to it. And you she smiles and you're, oh, hi. You give her a compliment, you're like, oh, you have beautiful eyes. And she goes, oh, thank you. And then you go, oh, you have beautiful hair too. It's that nervous energy. One thing worked, I better do it again. And then there's a little bit of a rush sometimes. And that causes that's a form of reactivity. Another form of reactivity that is common is the girl says something and gives a reaction. The guy gets nervous and he just shuts off, puts a wall up. Yeah. And that's another form of reactivity, this nervous wall between you and the girl. And try to play aloof, but sometimes it's uncontrollable. You just do it accidentally because you're nervous. And when you look at reactivity, it's a very interesting thing. Some guys hold on and they lean in too much. Like they're just like, yeah. How are you? Oh, and there's this hovering energy, right? That's also reactivity because you're trying to get into her space. What's happening is you're afraid she's not going to like you. So you're leaning into her space, trying to get into her reality. And all of this pushes women away. Reactivity is typically thinking too much. You're thinking a lot while the women are talking or somebody else is talking, and you're trying to calculate your next move because, again, you're nervous. You're like, oh, what should I say next? What should I say next? And by doing that, you're not actually feeling the emotion she's feeling as she's saying what she's saying. If you actually paid 100% attention to what she was saying and weren't reactive, you would know exactly what to say next because it would come up from inside you and tell you based on what you feel and hear from her. But since we're already thinking, we're almost half not listening and we're rushing, or we're hearing the words, but we're not feeling the emotion she's speaking with. And that also causes a problem. So reactivity comes in a lot of forms. You can really feel it on a man and a woman. I've seen it in women. I've been on dates with women that were reactive with me. Nice girls that were like, I would be like, I'll give you an example of this as I'm sitting there and I'm like, we're talking about massage for some reason. I don't remember. I was on a first date, Tinder date, and I just said something about massage. And she said, oh, I'll give you a massage. You like massages? I'll give you a massage. And you could feel that eagerness to make me happy. And it was an immediate turnoff, actually. It was like, whoa, I just met you 5 minutes ago. Like, settle down. I was out on a date with another girl many years ago, and she would want to spend money on me. And she would be like, I'd look at jeans in the window and she's like, oh, you like those jeans? I'll buy you those jeans. Yeah, it's no big deal. I can afford them. Let me buy you some jeans. And again, there's that nervous energy of her wanting to, because she's not feeling good enough about who she is. She's wanting to buy win me over with things, with validation, with attention. And it's actually a turnoff. And there are people that will take advantage of that, though. There are women and men that will be like, okay, buy them for me. And then that doesn't mean they'll be attracted to you. They just want the thing. And so that will happen too. So let's take this a little deeper now. If you look at reactivity, it all goes back to tension, right? And Miss B2W, hey, welcome to the call. And it all goes back to tension. So as the tension rises, and it could be emotional, it could be physical, what happens? We are really bad at staying and flowing with the tension. Like a surfer rides a wave, he has to be in perfect time with that wave to stay on the board and to stay on the wave and to ride down the face of the wave all the way to the beach, right? Because the wave is falling at a certain speed, and he has to stay totally present to adjust to that surfboard to ride it across down to the beach. And that presence is essential. He can't be thinking, he can't be analyzing. And this is why I say dating is flow state. You want dating in flow state. That's what you want. And this is our the Art of Fearless Seduction workshop that we've got coming up, which is a big group workshop, which is actually got a small group in the audience and a big group online. It's this big online group. It's all about dating in flow state. That's what it's about. Because ultimately, I've been thinking about this a lot over the last year, is it really flow state? Good date is just flow state. It's just like anything else. You two are just times just passing by like this. You feel like you've known each other forever. It's flowing. Well, you can create that. And when you get proactive, you start to create that. Reactive destroys that. The surfer on the wave is in flow state. It's a meditative experience for the surfer. That's why they get addicted to it. Same as on a snowboard, same as when I'm on my skis, same as when I'm doing all my subtle movement work or the heart walks. We do a lot of the heart walks. This type of stuff is powerful and essential. And so, what is that? When you feel the wave picking up, if you get nervous and lean too much into it and start to go into the future, get ahead of it, like, I got to do something, I got to make something happen, instead of relaxing back into it, you'll actually fall into the wave and get smashed, right? And if you lean back too much and don't push because you're afraid of it, you're like, oh my God, I'm going to pull back. Just like, hey, yeah, acting super aloof because you're nervous. What happens is you miss the wave altogether. So you miss all the opportunities. And it's that person that can relax and feel and not worry about what the other person thinks of them. And the moment you stop worrying about what she thinks of you or the other person thinks of you is the moment you can actually enjoy that human being. You can actually look at them and say, oh, she's feeling sad. She's feeling happy. Oh, interesting. What's that little tick she's doing right there? Oh, or why did she... when she said that about her dog, I felt her heart open a little bit. Interesting. And those are little things that the average person that's reactive doesn't notice. They don't notice any of that stuff because their mind is racing. They're in the spins, racing, missing all the subtle details. You see, really good dates that go into flow state, they activate through stepping into tension, enjoying the human being, but they also expand through really good awareness, listening, observing, from a still mind, because that's when you're going to notice things. You're going to pick up on subtleties nobody else picks up on by stilling this thing. So the more we get into a slower mind experience and just enjoy ourselves, the better it is. And the more we can move in a proactive way. And a proactive way is being in time with the tension and the emotion and not being afraid of it, enjoying it, savoring it. Even the rejection. You can savor rejection and be proactive with rejection. You can sit there and feel the rejection and go, what's the beauty? What am I learning from this? And just really savor it and have your heart open in the midst of it, which will grow you and make you ready, even more ready for the next person in your life, or the person that's in front of you to go deeper if it turns around or something fixes itself. Rejection is a healer in reality. And I've never said it that way, but rejection heals you of all your need for validation and trauma by feeling the rejection fully and savoring it and asking what's the beauty in the rejection, learning from it, growing from it. You actually start to heal your wounds and become more loving. But if you're constantly fighting, reactive to, running from, the rejection will actually hurt more and more and more. It's going to hurt a little bit. It's going to get more intense when you first savor it and welcome it. But then it starts to subside and your heart starts to open more. And then eventually you can start to laugh more and more at rejection. And that's powerful. So kind of hear this. It's being in time with the emotion. It's flowing back and forth with the emotion. It's flow state. This is proactivity. Like, I'm not rushing here. I'm not looking at your comments going, oh, I got to answer this question. I glance at them. And when the time is right, we get to them. I'm not trying to impress you because then I'm thinking too much about getting something from you. I'm more just, what can I just give? And they can either take it in or not. And that's being proactive at the moment. It took me years to understand that, but it's such a powerful concept and it can be used everywhere in life, not just with dating. So I'm going to take a quick look at the comments. And Tommy, Brian, what do you do when you're writing attention, but at the same time feel awkward because you're worried about, it disappeared on me, where'd it go? Because you're worried about not knowing what to say next. Well, you got to release that worry. Ultimately, that worry is what's taking you out. So I would, let yourself not know what to say next. It's the easiest thing to do. Go out there and don't try to fix the problem, and then call it out. Let yourself say, I don't know what to say next. And I used to say this to girls, you know what? I got nothing. I thought I had something really witty. It's gone. You know what? Or my brain just went blank. I just got a little nervous, whatever. And then you come back and then you start to relax. Oh yeah, here's my next question. I'm a big fan of not hiding what you're feeling, but doing it in a grounded, proactive, masculine way. She'll either be attracted or she won't. And it doesn't matter if she's not, because once you get comfortable being rejected and you get over it, you get over your fear of not knowing what to say, it'll be that much easier with the next girl. And eventually the girl's going to like you because you're getting more and more solid. You don't have to win over every woman. Every woman is not right for you. The right women are right for you. The right woman is right for you. Okay? So just remember that. I feel like I'm kind of reactive sometimes, but it still works. It can if you're just kind of reactive, a little reactive. And if you're owning it, that's the next thing. I didn't even talk about that. So I'm glad you brought that up. When I try to stop being reactive, I get into a mindset of needing to be perfect, which makes it worse. Yeah, that'll make your reactivity worse. So if you can't stop your reactivity, own it. Call it out. It's kind of being proactive about your reactivity. So as you get reactive, I'm a little nervous right now. I got the jitters. I don't know what to say. I'm getting a little reactive right now. Just say that. You're making me reactive. Look what you're doing to me. It's your fault. And then you'll start to calm down a bit. It's the owning of the thing that makes you interesting. So now you got kind of almost like you're being proactive about your reactivity. And it causes a beautiful thing. Don't ever try to repress the energy. Own the energy. Okay? We're working towards more proactivity, but you're not going to be 100%. You're slowly working towards that. If you learn to ride a surfboard, you're going to fall off it at first. You're going to get behind it. You're going to be pregnant. Even when you're a pro, you're still going to miss waves. And that's okay. That's part of the learning curve, right? And then you get better and better and better. But they don't beat themselves up when they miss a wave. They just go catch another one. If they tumble up, get right back up and catch another one. They're not trying to be perfect. They're having fun with what's in front of them. Okay? So, so you're from the Netherlands. Awesome. Welcome to the call. Okay, I want to ask you guys, anybody that's watching this on YouTube in the future, make sure to like, subscribe, make sure to share. It's really helping us to grow the channel. We want to grow this channel as big as possible for you guys, bring you awesome content. I want to get Anthony doing more videos. Might even get some of the other coaches on here doing videos for you guys. And so if you really want to change, liking the channel is a huge step because we want to hit the 100,000 mark. Sharing helps us to get more subscribers, hit that 100,000 mark. Putting comments helps us to get more of the algorithm moving. Watching more videos. When you get done with the video, watching if you can, if you really want this channel to grow and get more content on there, because as we get bigger, we can bring you more content. So I really appreciate that. Now, with that said, I'm going to dive into more questions as you guys are starting to understand reactivity a little better. Hold on really quick. But I do want to remind you guys, one more little commercial really quick, is we do have the All Access Pass, which is something that's going on right now. It's a program. It's a very affordable program. And we have 3 big events a year. They're mostly online with a little bit of a live audience. And we have Tim's, the Integrated Man Summit. We have the Fearless Man Live, and we have the Art of Fearless Seduction, which is really dating in flow state. It's all about the art of dating in flow state and stop thinking and just getting proactive in your dating, exactly what we're talking about here. If you want to see all 3 of those events this year online, I believe what is the price, Landon?
Price is $197.
And it's currently $197. And if you hit that link in the chat box, you can check it out and you can grab that. It's a hell of a deal. These programs do really well. People always love them. I think some people get just absolutely amazing changes just from these programs. And so definitely check that out. Click that link right now. At least do me a favor, click that link. And if you know somebody that could use these programs, share it with them. As guys, you guys don't share as much. Women, we have women here, they be sharing like crazy, right? So we've talked about creating women's programs because women run and buy everything and share everything, and they want to change, and they bring all their girlfriends in. You guys are like, I don't want anybody to know I'm doing this. And I want you guys to change that. It's okay that you're doing personal growth, and it's okay that you bring friends in. It's really good to have some good friends in there with you. So I just explained it, what that means. Click on the link above and it'll re-go through it. It's our 3 big live programs. That's the 3 of them. And they're all listed in there. The Integrated Man Summit, Fearless Man Live, and the Fearless Art of Seduction. Check that out. And you can see those right now. Okay. So with that said, I want to dive in a little deeper. And I want you to realize it's going to take time to develop proactivity. You're not going to do it overnight, so don't beat yourself up. If you're reactive, start to own the reactivity. Take a little bit of time. This is where releasing is so powerful. If you go out and you notice you're reactive, now this is a really important concept, really important. When you go out, don't think too much. Don't beat yourself up too much. Matter of fact, when you're approaching women and flirting, you don't want to be thinking at all. If you can avoid it, have one idea in mind. If you're working on one thing, like having an open heart, just focus on that one thing and let the rest flow. If you're working on feeling your stomach more and having your heart grounding into your stomach, work on that. If you're working on feeling your legs more, work on that. If you're working on being more better eye contact, work on that. If you're working on being more saying bold stuff, tension-based stuff, work only on that and let the rest flow. The reason that is because the more you think about it, the more you're going to activate this. And there's no way you can be proactive with this running. So how do you learn all this stuff that we talk about if you're doing that? Well, by focusing on one thing, the brain can handle that. And you can relax the rest and just let it flow. You may not be perfect. You may be a little reactive, but you can notice it. And you keep working on, by working on one thing, you work on getting a little more proactive, 1% at a time, 1% rule. And then after the interactions are over that day, or after a few interactions, 2 or 3, reflect. Sit down, think about it, talk to your friends, write in a journal. What could I have done better? That's where you go, okay, my heart could have been more open, my stomach, I could have been more grounding. And if you see a theme, like my energy keeps coming up and I keep on grounding, work on relaxing energy down into your stomach a little bit more. If you see a theme, your heart keeps closing, work on that the next time you go out, but pick one thing at a time to work on. You can work on multiple things in a day, but only one thing at a time until it becomes muscle memory. When it becomes muscle memory, it will start to take over and you won't have to think about it anymore. Like a dancer, like picture a dancer, right? He's working on basic steps, boom, 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 and he's counting those steps. And then eventually the steps become muscle memory and then he starts to feel the steps. And then eventually it starts to flow and he's like, pop, 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 pop. And he's no longer sitting there going, I got to get all these steps perfect. I got to analyze these steps. I got to know each exact step. He's feeling, and then he's adding new elements now. Now that I've got those steps down, what about this step over here? Now I got those steps, what about this? And then slowly over time, it gets more complex, more complex, more complex, more complex, and they can do more complex things. Same thing on skiing. I just taught somebody how to ski, and I had to start with the real basics. Here's hop up and down on your skis. Feel the inside edge, feel the outside edge. Learn to plow and or quite a wedge. Learn to move from side to side. We took all day. We had to compile one concept at a time on top of the other. And as she got it, we added a new piece until eventually by the end of the day, she was snow plowing down the mountain, basically wedging down the mountain and straightening and starting to move in the right direction. She did absolutely really well. And by not rushing it, slow down to go fast. So that's a powerful concept. It's the same thing here. Get proactive at the level you're at. Maybe it's just highs in the beginning. I'm going to do 100 highs today. Can I get really open-hearted and proactive? Can I get more grounded? Now that my heart's open, can I get more grounded in my highs for the next 10? Every 10, maybe you work on a different aspect. For the next 10, I work on being more loud vocally or better eye contact. And then you work on being as proactive as you can with that while relaxing into your body. Always relax it. Relax, relax, relax. The more you tense up, the more reactive you become. the more tension you're holding as energy hits you, it's more rigid. The more relaxed you are as energy hits you, it flows. It's the same thing. If I'm on a skis or a snowboard, if I'm tightening my feet as I go down the mountain, it's much harder to ski and snowboard. If I relax my feet and absorb the mountain, I can, and then let that relaxation spread through the body, I can absorb the whole mountain. Same thing in communication. If I'm tight, I'm bracing for impact from the emotional impact of what the woman's going to say or how she's going to look at me, how she's going to react. Like, let's say I'm talking to her and she suddenly picks out her cell phone and looks at it, and you get, oh, why is she looking at her cell phone? Is she bored with me? That's a thought in your head. That's reactive. Relax, open back up. It's just a cell phone. And then you go on again. And that the more you get good at this, the more powerful you will be at communication. Okay. There's one more thing I want to invite you into, and then I'm going to dive into questions. And that's we have 2 experiences workshops coming up. This is our flagship workshop. We have a small group of guys that get in there. We have all our coaches, all my coaches come in there, led by Josh. Anthony's there. And it's a very deep, impactful, powerful workshop. So if you're having trouble with reactivity, this could be the thing that changes you, because you'll be spending 2 days. It's a 2.5 day workshop, but you'll be spending 2 days in front of models working on your reactivity, your presence, to help relaxing your body you are, getting into an emotional flow state. And then you're going to go out in the field and apply all these exercises I was just describing one at a time. And the coaches will be giving you feedback in the classroom and in the field. We have Anna, we have Josh, we have Anthony, and we have another new coach we've been training. He's one of our advanced students who's going to be coming on. And then we have lots of assistants. So it's a real high coach to student ratio. And so if you're stuck in these areas and you just don't get it, this is the place to do it. We also do video feedback, and we teach you to do it in a meditative way versus an analytical way, so you can start to take in what's on that screen and really see how you're pushing the women away. Because you can really see it on the screen. You'll see that you'll get in front of the girls. You'll be normal in front of me, and then you get in front of the girls and you're like, sort of tweaking, and you're like, I don't even know I do that. And we start to show you all the ways your body is either pulling her in or pushing her away, and start making those little adjustments to get her more relaxed and more comfortable with you. I trust me, these girls want to hang out with cool guys. Women love men. And as soon as you start to relax, they can come forward. Okay. And that's what this shows you. So you get the video feedback, you get 2 days of that you get the model work, you get the high student to coach ratio, you get to see all your games played out right in front of you. You get to work on that proactivity and get rid of that reactivity, and you get to go out there and kill it. So if you're interested in something like that, there's a link in the chat box right now to find out more about it, and go in that direction. That is a small group. That's one of our intensives. So that's for people who want to really commit and make a big change in their life. And that's the stuff I started to get into with different companies before I became a coach myself. And I've amped it way up to have a lot more impact. Sometimes these weekends can get more results than my programs 10 years ago used to get in 3 months. So really good stuff. So with that said, let's dive into some questions. Let's see what we got here. I'm going to go back up. And I love that we're getting more and more women on here. So your women are always welcome. The guys learn a lot from you ladies, and they learn to stop hiding the fact that that they're into personal growth from the ladies, and realize that women love personal growth just as much as men. So that's freaking awesome. You could consider for some self-reflection. Was I calm? Was I speaking too quickly? Was she calm? Okay, so this is just, he's giving advice to other people. Roca. So the attraction and seduction gathering and the revealing live are virtual tickets, but the Integrated Man Summit is either virtual or in person. Correct. Yeah. The Integrated Man Summit, I believe Cairo, do I have that correct? Or how many events are we doing where we actually have the bigger ones, or we have live seating? Is it just the one? That's right. Your mic is not working, so you'll have to write that. Can you answer that question? I think you maybe already have. I see yeah, that's right. He answered it right there. Brian, when are you releasing your books on Kindle? It's also a Cairo question. Let's see, did he answer that? We are working on this, and I want to record the audiobook myself, because I want to play with the releases in my voice and stuff like that. So that's coming. But we don't have a set date yet. That'll be coming hopefully within this year. The Experience Intensive is listed there. The Fearless Man. I approached 5 women for a couple of days, but I couldn't wrote anything because my emotions were very negative and I couldn't figure out what to alter my approach. Well, even if your emotions are negative, you can see that your emotions are negative. You can write, I can see that I have negative emotions and I'm stepping back and looking at them. And there's a part of me that wants to take them very personal, but there's a part of me that, and then welcome the part of you that can let that go, the personal nature of it. I can see there's negative emotions, but I also see they're not me. I also see that I can handle them. I also see they're not taking me out. That might be the first step, that I can look right at these negative emotions, relax, and flow with them. That's really powerful. So there's always something, if you dig deep enough, that's positive. Even if it's small, 1%. By 1%, I can feel good gratitude for this or love for this. Powerful experience, guys. Awesome. Yeah, we love girls. I have powerful apathy between my chest and neck. How do I work on it? Between your chest and neck. Well, you can release in that area. Welcome whatever comes up. Have you done any of the revealing releasing programs? Welcome the apathy. And the apathy might feel like nothingness or numbness or heaviness. And hear this again: nothingness is a feeling. So if you can welcome even the feeling of nothingness, and that's the hardest one to let go of in the beginning. But if you can welcome it, let's say you welcome nothingness 10, 20 minutes a day for a week. That could have a huge effect at the end of the week. The first few days, you'll probably feel like you're going nuts. And then something will break open. I used to welcome my nothingness an hour a day. I'd walk and welcome it an hour a day for like a week straight until it broke open, until I started to feel different. And that was a huge, that when it started to open, there was a lot of emotion. There was grief. There was sadness. There was hurt. There were some tears. And I just kept going through it until I got to the other side. And then joy and love starts to appear. So that's the big mistake. Everybody thinks when they feel nothing, they're doing something wrong, but nothing is a feeling. And so check out, if you recheck out the part on apathy in my revealing program, if you have it, or check out the apathy section in Hawkins' book, Letting Go. And that can help you too. Yep, an audiobook here. I'm going to post this one up. An audiobook would be sick. You're absolutely right, sir. And I agree with you 100%. Vlad. Okay, let's check this one out. Oops, did I hit the wrong one? I was going to hit Vlad. We'll come back to that one. Where's Vlad? What happened? What happened to you, Vlad? There we go. Anger and my attempts to suppress it break my flow. Well, don't suppress anger. Move it up to courage. But how to 100% express anger and don't be reactive at the same time? Well, the nature of anger is reactive. I've read Anger chapter from Radical Honesty, but can't get this part fully. Anger, pride, courage, 3 levels of intensity. As you feel anger and welcome it, stop making it wrong. It starts to relax. It's still intense. And then it'll probably move to pride. I can do this. Fuck it. I can do this. And that's pride. That's a little lighter than anger. Pride is win, lose. I can do it. I'm going to beat you. Anger is just, lash. Okay. And then courage is what? Fuck yeah. I can do this and we're all going to grow from it. We're going to make something happen. Let's fucking do this. And if you can slide up that scale to courage, then you're sliding out of anger into the gateway to cap. And that's a skill you can practice. That's one way. Another way is you take your anger and you welcome it as a bunch of warriors behind you to feel all the emotions you don't want to feel that the anger is trying to get you out of, and say, I'm going to walk right into this sadness and this pain with my anger, which is another way of turning into courage. And to me, it feels like a flame. I'm taking this torch and I'm touching it to all the lower emotions and burning them. And it gets intense for a bit, and then the anger, and then you keep welcoming the anger as courage, and then eventually it all starts to subside. So that's a great example of that, Vlad. So great question. Thank you. Okay, I clicked on this one, so we got to come back to it. Story that you'll have to release. What do you think? That's just a question. Okay, let's get past it. What's this one? I'm just clicking on it. I haven't even read them yet. Why do I think of the best ways to approach or want to simply give a compliment, but then I end up saying nothing and missing the opportunity? Because you go to your head, you go into the spins. As soon as you're out of you see all these amazing thoughts are coming up from your body. But as soon as you go to your head, and you go into spins, your brain can't think anymore, because that's a nervous reaction protective mechanism. Okay? And that's why I was saying, call it out. Oh, I was coming over here, I had the perfect thing to say. I got nothing, and call out your reactivity. You make me fucking nervous. Matter of fact, let a bunch of them get screwed up first. I'm going to go up, and if they fail, they fail. But I'm going to be as honest as I can just to get past my fear of being rejected. That's one way. Or start smaller. Just go up and ask the time and see if you can do it in a relaxed, open-hearted way. Ask directions. Just give a compliment and walk away. That's a beautiful scarf. Simpler, much lower tension. You have beautiful eyes. I just want to tell you that. And then walk away. And do that 5 times a day for a bit until you relax enough that you can really just go up and enjoy a beautiful woman. And with time, with progressions, you'll get to a higher and higher level. And we are notorious here at Fearless at consistently fixing that for guys. That very problem, we in the Fearless experience, and we do it pretty fast. So if it's something you really want to take a look at, come check out a live event. Even in our big workshops, we take guys out sometimes, the big seminars, if they come live. And I think that Tim's is the only one you come live to, but this year. But it has a huge effect, and the experience has a huge effect of really breaking down guys' approach anxiety, because we have a unique way of doing it. So with games and fun stuff to get you past the need for the validation from the women, so you stop worrying about what they think of you, and that's powerful. Let's see what else we got, guys. And Cairo, if you've got it, just pop it up you've been looking at, but otherwise I'll find one. Or Landon. Oh, here we go. Let's check. What's this one? I remember Brian had a video with Zan, and Zan made a mention of an example of telling a waitress she looks great only with your subcommunication and no words. Yeah, do it. That's a great challenge. Because it all starts with the subcommunication. Your words won't work if there's not awesome subcommunication. I've challenged guys to go out and flirt saying as few words as possible, and I think that's a fantastic exercise. How can you go over saying as little words as possible and convey play, fun, energy to a girl or to a person, and just get that across? And it's a powerful practice. And some people, maybe some of you can do it with no words and just make the girl giggle and laugh. Okay. Does being grounded mean always being calm, or can be excited and grounded at the same time? Excited would probably mean you're encouraged, because there'll be a little fear and a little fun. The excitement is a compensation for some fear. Otherwise, you'd just be solid. And so that's fine. But if there's some excitement, oh, yeah, this is fucking fun. That's fine, because there's an aliveness to it. You can be a big energy. Hey, what's up? How you doing? A solid energy. You don't have to be calm. I never said be calm. I said be grounded. I don't know why so many of you guys think grounded means no energy. A tree can have huge branches flowing in the wind if it has deep roots. It has to be really grounded. A building can go huge and tall into the air and take up tons of space if it's really grounded into the earth. Nothing that was ever said about you that grounded means you have to stay low energy. But you do need to be calm inside to some degree. The more grounded you are, the more calm inside you'll be while being a big energy on the outside. The more you'll be able to think and focus and flow and that type of stuff. If you're in your head, you're dead. Tony Robbins, huh? Didn't know he said that. Interesting. Okay, let's come here. Okay, this is, hey man, I'm from Miami. Awesome, I love that city. I could live there easily. I don't know why I always stop myself from approaching because I tell myself girls don't want to be bothered. Okay, specifically when they are with their friends. Some, and some do. I mean, ultimately, you don't know. You haven't It's like if you were a scientist and you were going to make a hypothesis about an experiment and you made the decision before you did the experiment, are you a good scientist? No. So you need to take your opinions out because they don't matter, and you need to go do the experiment. And you can't have a sampling of one. You're going to need to get a big sampling to really get an answer, 10, 20, 30, and you're going to have to keep working at it. And you're also going to notice the sampling is going to change as you change. As the observer changes, as you get more calm, the way they respond changes too. So, but you can start simple, quick question, directions, things like that, and work your way up. Very easy. If you feel comfortable with directions, just throw out a compliment, ask a question, another question, then you go on from there. There are a lot of women out there that are dreaming of meeting their dream man every day of the week. And they would love to say at their wedding or their wherever their friends, oh, this guy, he was on the street and he walked up and he swept me off my feet. And I was grumpy, but he just smiled at me and he punched through my grumpiness. And oh, he was so sexy at the end. They would love shit like that. You're playing nice guy. So read No More Mr. Nice Guy if that's your story. It's consistently going on. Check out the book No More Mr. Nice Guy by Robert Glover. Because you are letting what other people think dictate your behavior versus creating your own reality and saying, I'm going to do what I want to do. Stop trying to make everybody in the world happy. If you try to make everybody happy, it's a definite recipe for not making anybody happy, including yourself. If you try to make everybody happy, it's a recipe for not making anybody happy, including yourself. Okay, what's another one we got? Okay, I'm going to put this one up because it's important. What are signs that I am making girls nervous? Well, this is an interesting question because if you're constantly looking to see if girls are nervous, that's what you're going to see even when they're not. You're going to find clues. Maybe she tosses her hair. Oh, she's nervous, and run away. I've seen guys do this so many times. First thing I would do, because you're not going to be able to clearly see when girls are nervous till you stop worrying about whether girls are nervous. That's the oxymoron of it all. So start simple. Ask time, ask directions, get your nerves down until you can think clearly and you're no longer in the spins. Then go up and say 100 highs, do 80 stops in a day, just asking different questions. Hey, you got a Converse bag. Where's that Converse store? I want to go visit it. Oh, you were just at Starbucks. Can you direct me to start? And stop worrying about it. You don't have to hit on them right away. And as you build up confidence, you can start hitting them. As you walk away, hey, thank you for the Converse store. And by the way, you have beautiful eyes. And they go, okay, I got to go. And then take off and then start building your way up till eventually you got beautiful eyes and you see her smile and you step in and you go, oh, well, what's your name? Or you know what? You said, you know where the Converse store, be my tour guide, take me to the Converse store. And you start moving in that direction. But if you're constantly worried about whether they're nervous, then start small and work your way up till you can calm down enough to actually be able, because you can't, once your nervous system opens and you're no longer fearful, you'll be able to see the answer to that question. And it starts to come to you. Okay. Okay. What's another question we got? Okay. So this question here, how do I get a good voice? Feels like I have shame when speaking. There's a good YouTube video out there by a guy named Brian Bajan. That's me. On The Voice, where I'm talking to a model. Go back and look for that YouTube video. Landon, if you can find it, I believe that one is either with Molly or Natalie. It's about a couple months ago.
It's posted.
Okay, it's posted. Yeah, check that one out. That's a good one. You have to work on relaxing all through here because this will tighten and energy pulls up to pull you out of your heart. Literally what's happening is your heart's the most vulnerable spot in the body, right? And so this area here, when you get nervous, starts to tighten and pull back because it wants to pull energy out of your heart because you're nervous and it feels like it's choking off your throat and your voice gets tight. As you can micro loosen every day and meditate and release. I release through here, and it takes a while. If you've been holding on for a while, it takes a while and it starts to go up. It'll start to loosen. When I first started meditating, literally meditating, even before I meditated specifically on my throat, I got 2 massive sore throats right away because my throat was so bound and it started to open more and more. And then I meditated on my throat. I would do movement work and stretch out the throat, open the throat. There's great vocal exercises online. Just go onto YouTube and look up vocal and practice them. But don't practice them technique-wise. Practice and feel all the sensations and emotions. And when you relax, feel it come down to your heart and open, down to your heart and open. Eventually, the heart will come down to the stomach and open. And that when that flow starts to happen, your voice will start to broaden with all of this right here, broaden and become more powerful. Because if I close my throat and pull it back in and start to wall off my stomach and my throat, tighten my throat a little bit, you can feel that there's already like a change going and I feel tighter inside. And now I'm like just tightening up now I'm gonna pull up in the throat a little bit and then I start to feel like this. And I'm like, hey, how you doing? My name's Brian. You're really cute. And it still doesn't sound horrible, but feel the difference if I relax my throat. And it took a while to learn to do this. And I relax a little wider in the throat. I relax a little in the upper chest. I open the heart and I start to have more appreciation. I drop into the stomach You can see the eyes soften, the throat opens. Then I'm like, hi, how you doing? What's your name? Where are you from? Oh, that's cool. Tell me more. I can have more emotional reaction. Okay. But check that video out if you got, and if any of you want to know more about that. Okay. And get the shame out. You got to release that shame. Okay, I feel boring when talking to women. That's a story inside your head that might be creating the reality, might not. So that can be released on. You have to welcome it and let it go. Read the book, Letting Go. Go check out our revealing program. And I just did a video on shame, on self-esteem, because that's the self-esteem. If your internal image is smaller than the people around you, then you got to change that. So go check out that video I just did on self-esteem. Oh, it's not done. It's not out yet. So it'll be out in a few weeks. Okay. And, but your internal image is so important. You need to do work. If you're constantly shrinking and smaller than the girl, then that needs to be shifted. Okay. Okay. Okay, what's this one? Hey, Brian, I'm working on saying no, breaking the nice guy, but I've gotten angry and scared when I do it. That's good. Because the anger is higher on the emotional scale than the fear. It's a higher vibration. It's reactive, so you got to learn to move it towards courage, but it's still higher. So it goes apathy, grief, fear, lust, anger, pride, courage, acceptance, love, peace. Any comments on how to stay in love and peace? By releasing your aversion to fear and anger. I didn't say release the fear and anger. I said release your aversion. Stop making anger and fear wrong. Have love for them. Appreciate them. Let them go. And then you can let them go and look away because they no longer control you. They don't have any power over you. Okay. And start moving up that emotional scale. And you can go back and forth. You can go up to cap. Also develop a relationship with the upper emotions. Go up to peace and read all the peace emotions. Read all the acceptance emotions. Read all the courage emotions. And remember a time when you felt each of those and each of the subtle emotions. And really develop that. And then when the anger pulls you down, you have access to a neurological memory of these emotions because you ran them through so many times, and start to let it go and go back up. When it pulls you down, let it go back up. And when it pulls you down, welcome it, look at it, have appreciation for it, and then that brings you right back up. And then eventually you start to stay up more and more. That's the quick answer, okay? Kludgy wrote, your old self-esteem videos are really helpful. I'd be curious to hear you speak on them now. I don't remember all the videos I've created, so that's really cool. If you got any good ones, you can post them in here, but there's some new stuff coming for sure. Okay, what else do we got? Oops, this thing's bouncing around even as I answer questions I can't seem to see anymore. Oh, shit, there's all these links too. It's good. Because of it. Okay, absolutely. What's this one about toxic masculinity? With all the sexual harassment and toxic masculinity, we can't have toxic masculinity without toxic femininity, right? So let's throw these words out at some point. Thing that's going on in the world, I think I let that too hold me back approaching girls in the street. What are your thoughts on that? I don't even worry about it. I've never had a girl get mad at me or yell at me for approaching her. I've never been told I was toxic. I've never been told I have toxic masculinity. I've never been told I'm sexually harassing. And sexual harassment is really meant for the workplace for the most part. And if you're not out there like groping and grabbing women, you're being fairly respectful, then you're fine. You're not breaking any laws. You're not doing anything wrong. That's all your projection from watching too much YouTube or something like that, or watching too much red pill or something like that. And I find that almost every woman I approach is at least respectful and nice. They don't take it. They don't take anything bad. So I would release all of that and just let it go and move on. And just be, you can be forward. You can be step in attention. Just don't be a total dirtbag. That's really what it comes down to. And yeah, so there you go, buddy. And I've been doing this for years. I don't know of any clients that have had the problem. I don't know. I just don't see it, And I started to watch people in their eyes with open heart. People seem more friendly, and some women smile at me. It feels strange, and I welcome it. Is that law of transmutation? No. Well, transmutation is when something is in the state of changing, is in a process of change from one form to another. So they're just responding to your vibration. So you're raising their vibration. So law of vibration, you could say. And as you have this really open vibration, people want to come up and meet it and then open and smile back. So that's the first thing that comes to mind. So, but yeah, cool. Let's see what this one is. We got the heart walk meditation there for you guys that want to try that out. That's really good. It applies to what he just said there. Really good stuff. So I think Landon's been posting that stuff for you guys, all the different links. So Landon's killing it right now. Okay, Jeremy, I don't see what's off topic. I see you said something's off topic. Let me go up a little higher. Maybe it's higher. Did you have a question that's off topic? I'm not sure. Did I answer it already? Here we go. Hey, Brian. I created a global belief to choose to bring up more of my subconscious and let it go. Good job, man. I've been doing that too. I've been just choosing to be imperturbable and keep letting everything go. Tell you though, if you choose that goal, you're going to experience some shit. Everything's going to fall apart because all your attachments have to be just ripped out of you. And so you might have a wounded heart for a while. And that means stepping away from all the things that distract you from your pain. Yeah, every human has so much pain, right? And unless they're enlightened, right? So, but we live good lives because we have our TV, we have our pot, we have our masturbation, we have our alcohol, and every time in the day, and everything opens back up. But when you take all that away, and you have to learn to be just happy without just being, and not need anything out here to make you happy, then everything changes, and you got work to do. That's law of transmutation right there. Stuff is shifting, and Jeremy's great at this. He's been working on himself for a long time, and he works hard. So I created a global issue. Okay, I'm not done with it yet. I got to bring that one back up. I was just about to read it. I never really read it, so awesome. Thanks. I created a global issue to let go. Now I have a lot of fear of coming up about the belief of it possible. Is it possible to create a dangerous belief? Yeah, but I don't think this is what it is you're choosing imperturbability or freedom, which is the ultimate choice. Lester Levinson talks about this a lot, is that if you truly want to be happy and you truly want to be solid, you got to choose freedom over everything else. You got to choose imperturbability over everything else. This is why the top gurus out there that have really gone free, like Nisargadatta, talk about meditating on I am, just I am, and then even letting that go in the end, or who am I, and even letting that go in the end, the need to understand that and going beyond all that, or the need for separation or the need for oneness, and releasing all that, because that's the core belief that starts it all, right? Or the need for survival and the need to die, and the choice, which is really the choice to stop, for all this to stop. And as you release all that, and the world becomes more of a game, like a video game you're just watching, you don't take any of it personally anymore. That's when you start to go free. So yes, it can create pain, but if you just keep releasing and meditating every day, like I do, you're going to grow, and you're going to grow fast, buddy. You're going to grow fast. It's a powerful way to grow. So I want to acknowledge you for that. Most people, but you got to be willing to give up all your attachments, sex, women, money. That doesn't mean you lose those things. It just means you lose the attachment to those things. Now, if you lose interest in them after you lose the attachment, it wasn't something you really wanted anyways. So you might suddenly find, I don't really need to be a multimillionaire. I got enough money. I'm happy just the way I am. I don't need to go chase a million women. I just want a beautiful woman that nurtures my heart. I don't need to have sex with 3 different women at once. I just need my woman, whatever it is. Or maybe you do. Maybe you should do it anyways. And then you let it, and then you move beyond that. Who knows? But you'll figure that out as your ego dissolves. You'll figure out what the soul really wants, and maybe it'll be none of that. Maybe it'll change completely. Okay, what do we got next? We're almost an hour in, so you got any more? So I know you guys are on. Let's see what we got here. Okay, I may just be stroking my ego. Okay, but I noticed that the more attractive I become, the harder it is to get girls to relax in front of me and make eye contact with them. Could that be true, or is my approach off? Could be. Girls do get nervous around really attractive guys, but that's the more attractive. If guys model attractive, then you don't need to say nearly as much because your looks are doing a lot of the work. If you're average, you probably want to use a little more push-pull energy and a little cocky, funny, and it'll trigger attraction. If you're using heavy, cocky, funny, push-pull, bantering, and you're really attractive, that can make them really nervous. If you're using heavy, cocky, funny, push-pull, and you're average, but you don't stop when they start to like you, that could make them nervous. If you're using a heavy pushing eye contact and your heart's not open and you're not receiving them in, that could make them really uncomfortable too. That's where you're just like, hey, how you doing? And you're staring really hard. You don't ever back off because you're trying to create tension. You got to let them back in and receive them. And is your heart even open? Because that could create a lot of tension. Is the energy running down the front of your body? Because again, they'll only be able to receive you maybe this much, but not through the body, which relaxes them. So these are all different things. I don't know if you recognize where you're at in that, but some people do have model looks. So slow, back off. But that might not be it, because if you're really letting a woman run through you and grounding, it won't matter anyways. Okay, they'll feel so relaxed around you. Like when I hold a woman's hand, they always say they get really relaxed. Okay, what do we got next? Yep, smoking weed, that's a big one. It's just somebody wrote this. I agree with this 100%. And we all have this stuff, right? We all have things we do to distract. And when you're ready, if you ever reach the point where you want to take it all out and face life, you'll do it. If you don't, you won't. There's nothing wrong with either. You make the choice as to how far and fast you want to go. A lot of this is talking about getting beyond dating and getting into consciousness and waking up. So that's a different story. I've been investing a lot of myself. My money balance is going down, but I want a lot in myself, but I want to take more risks, like moving somewhere else and try new jobs. Would that be smart? Well, you got to listen to your higher self and take risks that are, don't constantly take 10s on the tension scale. You'll burn out, like 1 to 10. Keep moving in the direction you want to go, 1s and 2s. But if you have something that's a burning desire in your body, that wants to be played out by the body, and you should do it because there's a reason. But you don't back. It's called the terror barrier. Don't go halfway and then run back, halfway and run back, because that's what fucks people. Along the way, you're going to go through law of transmutation, all the tension around you, and you have to ride that wave to the other side. You're probably going to fall off the surfboard a few times. You have to get right back on as fast as possible and ride it to the other side. And it's powerful. It's a powerful process. And so you got to ask yourself: is this a true burning desire that my soul wants to experience? If it is, then by law of polarity, there's a way to achieve it in your environment right now. Not something you have to go figure out. There's a way. You just can't see it because it's outside your consciousness. So you have to invite it in. Okay. So let that in a little bit. Awesome. Okay. Is there anything else we got today? I think we're at 2 hours, or 1 hour, excuse me. So guys, I want to remind you, if you guys really want to dive in deep with some of my coaches and really go deep, then definitely check out the Fearless Experience. It's an awesome event. I talked about it earlier. I don't want to push it too much. I just want to say that we've got 2 coming up pretty quick, and it's an awesome opportunity for you guys to make radical shifts in your life. I don't know of a student yet that would not recommend taking it. I've had students who really want to go through it multiple times because of the power of change they get from the video work, the deep meditative model work, the meditative video work, and really bringing up all your shit, putting it right there on the table to be removed and processed right in front of the models, the live models right there, and then taking you on the street to do these same exercises. If you've got approach anxiety that just won't go away, this is a great opportunity to work on that too. And then also one more time, I want to remind you that the big program, the what do we call it again? I forgot the name. the whole bundle, the bundle program, that one there is also
The Fearless Man All Access Pass.
the All Access Pass. I had it wrong. The All Access Pass is out there, and that's going to get you to our 3 big live events that are going to be mostly online, except for Tim's. The Integrated Man Summit is the only one that'll be in person this year because of all the challenge with travel. And but those will be awesome. You get all of them for $197, and that's a hell of a deal. So if you want to get a lot of great coaching, you want to learn about dating in flow state, you want to see a bunch of coaches teach at the Integrated Man Summit, not just me, and you want to meet some people I believe in. Those are 2 great events in the Fearless Man Live, where you really get to see a lot of the subcommunication with women. And both of the other 2 workshops, we work a lot on the subcommunication with women. One's a little bit more into flow state, and one's a little bit more into your power, developing your internal power. But very powerful stuff. Awesome. So I think Landon's doing an awesome job posting videos, and so are you guys. I really love the you guys are finding each other YouTube videos to watch that I put out in the past. That's really awesome, guys, and keep that up week to week. Okay, I think that's it for the week. Yeah, hell yeah, those programs are powerful. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. I try to always make everything super high quality. There's this idea of over deliver, right? And if you over deliver, you get raving fans. And I've always believed in the idea of raving fans. If you get raving fans, you'll always have a good business. Provide value, the money will come. Provide value, the money will come. And a lot of people are trying to get the money without providing enough value. And it's just not how life works, man. You know, build trust. Make sure that people feel like they can trust you. So anyways, guys, I love y'all. You're all freaking awesome. I want to remind you guys on YouTube, if you're watching this at a later date, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, make sure to share, and help us grow the channel. If you haven't liked this, you haven't subscribed to the channel, we're trying to get to 100,000 and really move things up and bring in more and better content, maybe more coaches down the road. Just keep blowing everything up, because I want to dig. We're a personal growth company before we're a dating company. We do a lot of deep internal work, and I want to dive deeper into that and bring in more coaches that can really take this to the next level. So if you're interested in that, definitely subscribe, definitely share, because that also helps us to grow the channel. And make sure to comment. Those comments are awesome. We love it. And I think that's it for tonight, guys. You're all awesome. You've been commenting like crazy. We've got you up to 51. And so, guys, with that said, I want to say have a beautiful night. We'll see you next week. We got another video coming out Friday and Sunday. And remember, only the confident really live. And I've been saying lately, maybe I'm going to switch over to this one. What would you do if you were fearless? What would you do if you were fearless? Get out there, do what you need to do to become fearless and live the best life, your best life. Awesome. Take care. Bye.